Hello and welcome back to Dyad and the Force. Today we are doing an awesome episode. We have a new favorite guest that we got coming on. We'll be talking about Liam Neeson, um, one of our fan favorite books, Lost Stars. We're going to be doing some fan casting and some idea crafting around that. I'm going to dive deep into Bad Batch Season 7, as well
Season 7.
as we have the High Republic qualifier. So we got a lot going today. It's gonna be an awesome show. Thank you for joining here on Dyad in the Force.
Seen for generations, a Dyad in the Force.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Dyad in the Force, episode 31. Let's shout out the chat really quickly. Another week, another show, more people joining the fray. Captain Pennsylvania, Dob, those are some new names. Gray is in the chat, of course. We have Gray in the show as well, a special guest. Harith Productions, Julia Christine, Michael Hubbard, Steward of Ostager, and X-Core Gamer Skills. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We have a great show for you today. This week, of course, Choco mentioned we have the High Republic qualifier to do. If you read those books, and if you want to put that knowledge to good use, you want to test your metal and qualify for a free, Brooke is also in the chat, free lightsaber, please participate in that Kahoot at the end of this show. Gray, welcome to Dyad in the Force. If anybody does not know who you are, can you please introduce the viewers to you and what you do?
Hi, I'm Gray, and I am new to this community over here. I come from a different one. I don't have a YouTube channel up yet, but it will be this fall, or even sooner. It'll be called Rare Lou. I'm currently on TikTok, new to TikTok, and I love Star Wars books a lot. And I get invited on a couple different shows to talk about them, and I really enjoy it.
Very nice.
Do you have a favorite book, or maybe like a top three, or any ones you want to mention?
Oh, yes. And so my favorite book series is the Aftermath series. Of much going on in that. I could talk about that for hours. And then Lost Stars. I'm a huge Lost Stars fan. I've listened to that book at least 10 times. Then my favorite Star Wars in general is Clone Wars.
Awesome.
Nice.
It's super well rounded. We love to see it.
Also, thank you to Captain Pennsylvania for the sub. Welcome to Squadron 7. Ace Bronx is also in the chat. Okay. Nice. Spreading the love, showing the support. What's up, Riot and Respect? Hope y'all are having a good day. Long live Star Wars. Absolutely. And if you have been paying attention to that side of the community, apparently it has died again this week. Star Wars has died again.
Yeah, I hear that it dies a lot.
Is there an echo here? I hope not. I did not hear an echo. Oh.
Yes, I'm Echo.
I think I may have fixed the issue from last week, but feel free to drop some ramen love to test it out. That's going to be an ongoing gag. What's up, X-Core Gamer Skills? Julie is asking the real questions. Is Gray a truther? I don't know what that is.
Don't know what that means.
I guess
a truther means a quirky Kenobi truther. Do you believe that Corky from Clone Wars is Obi-Wan's son? Obi-Wan and Satine's son.
No.
I don't either, but that's okay.
That would be awesome. To be honest, I would like that, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I am a truther as well. Well, not as well. I'm the only truther in this trio. Star Wars Lawyer says, Choco doing a trench run? He is. Perpetually. Strong with the Force.
Yeah. I'm not even paying attention to it, but it's cool.
I mean, don't trust your eyes. They can deceive you.
This is my targeting computer. No.
Use the Force. Captain Pennsylvania. I want to fly on an X-wing. I think I want to fly an X-wing. Everyone wants to fly an X-wing. Actually, here's an audible. If you were to be a pilot in Star Wars, what kind of ship would you pilot? Sans an X-wing, which is the generic answer.
Fighter. I like the sound they make. Like, I love the sound.
Jedi Vector is just the first thing that comes to my mind, and I believe the most accurate thing. Although the Stealth X from Legends still remains my favorite ship. I don't know, they're just cool.
Ren ship's pretty rad.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
it is.
Yeah. Which
Like,
one, the
seriously,
Silencer or the Whisper?
Silencer.
Very nice, very nice. I'm gonna go
Same
big. I'm gonna
for
go
you.
big picture here. I'm gonna say the Ataraxia.
Okay, okay.
That would be very interesting to pilot, and I don't want to put myself in what's her name in Light of the Jedi, the pilot of the Legacy run.
Oh yeah, that's not
I don't want to put myself in those shoes. Lots of pressure piloting a big ship. Ryden Respect says Obi-Wan would never smash. I would think his dedication to the Jedi Order is beyond that. Listen.
The Jedi were not. The Jedi were allowed to. I mean,
They were.
George Lucas confirmed this when Attack of the Clones came out, like back in the
Obi-Wan
day.
says that he would leave Jedi Order for Satine in the Clone Wars. He said that exactly.
Yeah. And, the High Republic is also shedding a lot more light on this. Speaking of the qualifier, I mean, sexual relations it wasn't a stranger to the Jedi Order. It was all about trying to not form an attachment, which also always led to Rael Averro's situations.
I love Rael Averroes. He's like one of the best Jedis to me.
Yeah, I love Ray.
Ryan Cummings says Jedi Starfighter or an ARC 170. Very nice. X-Core Gamer Skills A-Wing always. Oh, that's an interesting choice.
I don't know. I mean, after reading reading
Yeah.
Alphabet Squadron, you really get to see the differences between all of the ships and how they feel to fly, and the responsiveness and speed of an A-Wing is really cool. That's way up there for me as well.
Yeah. Did you say U-Wing, Gray?
Said nobody chose a U-Wing. It was a joke.
Oh, I mean, it
I
is
would
a
like
cool
to
ship.
own one, and I would name him Patrick. I would name it Patrick.
Patrick
I was-
the U-Wing.
I was waiting for someone to say the Millennium Falcon.
Nope.
No, there are no generic sauces in this table. We're all interesting people. Not to say that if you pick the Millennium Falcon, you're an uninteresting person. I'm just saying.
I mean, that sounds fun, but that wasn't even one that crossed my mind. I had a couple different ones, and that wasn't one.
Yeah.
I thought about what the Bad Batch flies. I wish I knew what the name of that ship was.
That is a cool looking ship.
Is.
Star Wars Lawyer says, I'm glad I've qualified because these High Republic questions are going to be nothing but guesses. Well, I'm glad you're going to at least try to guess. Is it based on the High Republic comics, Julia asks? It is based on Light of the Jedi, Into the Dark, A Test of Courage, and then the High Republic 2020 run by Scott, and High Republic Adventures by Older.
That being said, we did kind of weight the amount of questions towards Light of the Jedi because that's the most commonly read one. And so you don't have to have read absolutely everything to do well.
Yes.
We try to make it so that it's fun for you guys.
Absolutely.
And not just obliterating people.
Log Branch says Choco taking an attack on the Death Star. I see. Use the Force. Choco. Use the Force. Or Choco, according to some people. Ebon Hawk is better than the Millennium Falcon. Sorry, we have a Legends fan, a KOTOR fan in the building. Cameron Collins, what's up?
Yeah. I mean, I would take the Ghost over the Falcon myself.
Gray, I think you're muted, or are you trying to say something?
I said, ooh, the Ghost very quietly and secretively sounding. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, no worries. Just making sure that everyone can hear
I just
you.
try not to interrupt. I have a really bad interrupting problem, and
Oh, it's
not
welcome
to.
here. Interrupt us because you're the guest. Okay,
I
so like,
talk way too much.
Now, so our rule is if we start talking at the same time, you keep going, we will stop talking because we're here for you.
yes.
Oh,
When we have a guest, our guest talking takes precedence. When we're just the two of us, the dyad, I usually talk over Choco because he's a nice guy.
well, I'm the
Because
third
I don't have
wheel
anything.
with Dyad today.
Uh, it's mostly because I don't have anything interesting to say, but I appreciate it.
All right, let's go to the first topic. If you have anything else to say, Choco, were you about to say something?
Nothing interesting. It's all good. Let's jump in.
Okie dokie. So we got some news here. Liam Neeson was on an interview with, I believe, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
And he was asked about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And he's like, I haven't been approached. So discuss how he's a liar.
The liar.
That was Jimmy Kimmel's the first thing that he said in response. Jimmy Kimmel said, "If you're such a good actor that I wouldn't be able to tell if you were lying right now."
Yeah.
And then to which you responded with, "Because now that means you can't say anything because it doesn't matter if you do or you don't."
I mean, we could have a Red Skull situation where he wouldn't come back to reprise it, and they had to use somebody else. Red Skull wasn't in the Avengers Infinity War. That was not him.
Yeah.
That was a great job, by the way, by I believe it was Ross Marquand.
Yeah, and so if he really just wasn't going to do it because of all the negative feedback from the prequels, and he's a very expensive. I never know when to believe actors or not. Every time I'm like, oh, he's lying. He's not lying, and then I'm like, oh, So I honestly don't know.
And Ewan McGregor, like Julia Christina's saying, ruined it for all of us because for years he said, "I haven't been approached. I haven't been approached." And then he comes on stage with Kathleen Kennedy and he's like, "Yeah, I've been keeping this a secret for like 5 years."
It's relatively par for the course for any actor who's trying to keep a secret, especially the MCU actors who are just like, yeah, we don't know, we haven't been told anything. And so it's better to say we haven't been told anything or we haven't been approached than to say I can't tell you. Because then that
Then people
answers the
try
question.
to sneak you into telling. They try to trick you into saying something.
Yeah, right. And so when someone asks, let's say Liam Neeson, for example, since we're on the topic, what can you tell us about the Kenobi show and your role in it? And he says, I can't say anything. Then you're like, confirmed. You're in it, right? So he's got to be like, I'm not in it. We haven't spoken. Kathleen Kennedy they're at war at Lucasfilm. So they have no time to talk to us actors. Julia Christine says, doesn't Liam Neeson love Star Wars though? He did Clone Wars. Yeah, he does. I think the only person that was outwardly in hatred of his participation was Guinness, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Did he play?
Guinness did speak ill of it. Oh no. Guinness in the original Obi-Wan. But yeah, I think no one else I think actually hated it, but I'm sure if you ask Jake Lloyd, he'll have some choice words.
Well, maybe he'll hate some of the fans, that treated him poorly. But yeah, Liam Neeson loves Star Wars. I think he's like Sam Jackson. Oh man, that was wrong of me to do. Now everyone's gonna go on that Mace Windu has returned train again. I
hate that train. I can't tell you how many articles and things I've seen pop up, and I get it. It's partially due to just being a content creator and trying to create content when there's no news or anything.
Yeah.
But then people take things and run them really, really far. It's very odd.
They all love Star Wars, man. If I was about to say Qui-Gon. If Liam Neeson had a choice between like playing Qui-Gon again and what's his name in the Taken series, he would absolutely choose Qui-Gon again. Like lightsabers, folks. That's how it is. I'm sorry?
Never watched the Taken series.
I mean, it's you know, he's a guy that has skills. His daughter gets taken, and then the next movie his wife gets taken, and the next movie he gets taken, I think. I don't know.
I don't think that guy watched over his family very well.
Yeah, it's so funny. The next one in the movie should be like
he takes someone that has to stop himself.
Yeah.
So I would see that Obi-Wan would be much better than that part because he seems negligent in that situation. So
he is a free spirit. Qui-Gon is. Could you imagine a Taken movie in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, that would be like the hostage episodes of the Clone Wars, and I would love that, especially if Cad Bane is the one that takes someone, and then we would get, man, who would we get to get him back? Sorry, my mind is just like moving now, but they didn't really build up any. Okay. Hear me out. This would take place somewhat in the time period of the Empire Rising, right? And this especially works if you have read the Inferno Squadron book. But Lux Bonteri is the one that has to go get his daughter because he has a daughter in the Empire, and he's kind of like despondent because he was like he lost his dad in the Separatist War, and then he lost his mom, and then he was like trying to go against Count Dooku, and so he joined with Death Watch, and then Death Watch came and killed everyone, and then he was a freedom fighter on Onderon, and then Steela died, and then they finally free Onderon, and then it becomes the Empire, and he's just like, oh my god, this sucks so much. And we know eventually he ends up joining back up with a more terrorist-sided organization called the Dreamers. That is an offshoot of Saul Guerrero's group. But there has to be an in-between, and I would love to see a situation where he has to go out and save his daughter. And that's what kind of is the final straw that makes him go back into that life. Yeah. So we can get Taken in Star Wars, starring Lux Bonteri.
Be fun.
Starring Lux Bonteri? Is he an actual actor? Or is it Liam Neeson as Lux Bonteri?
Yeah, no. You're looking to see my...
Ryan Cummings says, I don't understand why people want Mace Windu to come back. Anakin being a big part of Mace Windu's death is one of the last straws of Anakin's turn. Absolutely. Christopher Boykin says Mace didn't die on screen, and as the theme has been with Star Wars, if they don't die on screen, they have a pretty good chance of returning. This is my ultimate answer to that. Like, the Star Wars book, the reference book, that's the newest reference book, has Ahsoka and has Mace. Ahsoka is listed as last seen in the Unknown Regions. So there's your flavor of ambiguity. Mace is dead. Just dead.
Star Wars book. Recommend it.
I believe
I don't believe that he would have not appeared again for all this time. Not to mention he was, being electrocuted as he was flung out the window. As we learned in, Light of the Jedi, falling definitely can kill a Jedi. You have to be awake and conscious and able to use the Force in that moment to make sure you don't die. I don't know that he was in the position to do that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's like how Kylo, when he got shot with that bow, he used the Force to contain the wound so it didn't kill him.
Yeah.
He just happened to notice and do that, and it was like right in time.
Yeah,
and he still got wrecked.
he,
But
he tanked that
We
thing.
got like,
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like when you accept that fact that he is using the dark side to sustain himself, then you also have to accept the fact that it is draining his stamina to do so. So it's like when people, man, I know you guys, you Legends fans are going to cite Darth Sion, but that is just ridiculous. No one has infinite stamina through pain and rage. Like, it's like, that's why a lot of times when I go back to Legends and think of the Force as powers, it rubs me the wrong way, because the Force is a separate entity and you need stamina to tap into it. So when people think like being in pain means you can't die because you're always using that pain, you're like, no. At some point you're going to lose consciousness and you can't use the Force.
I mean, I always say it, but by that logic, why would you ever block any attack? You should just let everything hit you, and you'll just like keep going. I don't know. That's weird. Julia Christine, I don't understand why you hate Lux Bonteri so much. I mean, yeah, he's not a nice guy, but I don't understand the hatred. Also, Ariel's in the house. I'm happy to see that she's here because
Very nice.
I think she's gonna win the quiz personally, but we'll see.
Arya, I love your Avar and your Elvar video. That was hype. False. I have an endless supply of fear and pain. Julia, no, you don't. You know why? Because when Corky's on screen, that all goes away, and so that statement is fallible.
Just in case Julia Christine never shows up as a Sith Lord to take my life, I'm gonna keep a little picture of Corky Kenobi in my wallet. I'm gonna show it to her and watch her deflate like a tire.
Oh, she says, I can't believe how much story Lux got. It hurts my heart. I think she meant hurts. But I think there's a bit of envy here because Corky doesn't get that, expansion of story. I think we found the source of that hatred. Do you want the good or the bad reason for my issues with Lux? We'll just leave it at jealousy.
We got AJ in the house, SK Base. Awesome content creator. Go follow his channel as well.
Oh, great! You have a channel, right? You should. Did you start making content?
She didn't mention her TikTok channel. No.
I did build a TikTok channel. It's Dawn of the Gray at TikTok.
Go follow it now.
My middle name is actually Dawn, and that's why I chose Dawn as my.
No, I mean that's a great name, but also, very has a lot of implications as to the Dyad's view on the Gray. But that's okay,
So I'm just learning and trying not to get community violations all the time for absolutely nothing I don't quite understand. But
Really, have you gotten some?
Yeah.
For what?
Already, we're a couple days in. I have a Rey cosplay, full like a Rey Leia Padme cosplay. It's like full clothed costume, and they took it down for community violations.
That's weird.
It's so weird.
I even appealed it and everything, and they won't put it up. And I used their music. I didn't do anything like vulgar or anything, and which I see all the time. I don't know why mine got. So I'm just learning.
I mean,
it's that cosplay is a whole different animal that I don't quite understand. We have Ariel in the chat can probably shed some light on it, but yeah, I mean, just keep it going. It also might be because your account is new. That they
and then I'm starting a YouTube channel. I have everything in progress, get going on it. So It should be up and running in a little bit. It's called Rare Loot.
Is it up now?
Rarely.
Is there like at least an intro video up?
No, I'm getting the intro video made like right now.
Perfect.
I have some I have some of the artwork up and whatnot, but that's about it.
So on TikTok at Dawn of the Gray and on YouTube.
Yeah, Dawn of the Gray.
And on YouTube, Rare Loot.
Yep, and in a couple moments, I'll toss it in the chat as well. But while we're at it, Gray mentioned how much she really loves and has reread Lost Stars. We wanted to talk about, if you could force Claudia Gray to do it, would you want like an extension? You wanted a sequel to it, or would you want like a retelling of it in a different medium? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I have lots of thoughts on that. I know what I want from that. So I want a part 2 book in the novel, and have part 1, part 2, and then I would love a show or some sort of adaptation movie or show. But I want the first part and the second part, not just Lost Stars and then part 2 a movie. And I don't like when they make movies and they've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they do 1, 4, and 6.
Oh,
Yeah, you need the whole story.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a perfect story for a long form TV show as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of Star Wars lends to that.
Yeah, you could go into what happened with Ciena after, if she actually turns coat and starts feeding the Empire information. I don't know if she would do that, but I think it would be I would like that.
Yeah.
Then,
So, I mean, if after, because especially, if you keep reading it with like, Alphabet Squadron or, Battlefront 2, we have Operation Cinder, and then like like the war is over, and there's a lot of Imperials that are turning and joining the Republic, and she would have been like one of the first people. So I'm curious if that, but she has her darn loyalty,
honor, that undying loyalty. But I think that her love of Thane and not wanting to be in jail and having a life with him would eventually weigh on her to change.
especially considering how what happened with her family too, with that whole trial and stuff.
That's another thing. I would like to see her family reunion. I would like to see her mom taken out of the work camps. All of that. I would love to see all of that.
Was Nash in any way, shape, or form in Alphabet Squadron at all?
No, he was not.
We need to continue.
I would like to see Ray Sloan and Nash Windrider's part in how, because I think Ray Sloan is going to be a huge influence on the creation of the First Order, because when you read all her books and all her stories, she is basically the First Order. And then she goes off with them and is one of the only people who can train. So I would love for that to be a side story of the Lost Stars, is Ray Sloan and Nash Windrider.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm kind of happy that we don't have anyone screaming levers of power in the chat right now. But
inside joke.
I don't know what it means.
It's a story that since I think 2 weeks or last week has been pushed as something we need to read. I think it was 20 pages. I still haven't read it.
Still haven't read it, but yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, why is his name not coming to me? I would keep wanting to say Lucas. Levi, that we were on Star Wars Santa with, has been talking about Levers of Power, how we all need to read that book. It is about Ray Sloan, and I will read it. I
will too. I have them written down. It was a busy week. Couple weeks.
Harris says
a fan cast.
Oh, I do.
Oh,
Chris Hemsworth would a great thing. He's huge and blonde and gorgeous, and he can be very rugged and steely jawed and all that. And then, so Sienna is a lot harder to cast because he's so tiny. There's just not a lot of actresses with the petiteness of her. And the only one I could find that even looked at all like her with and be very petite and is Nafasa Williams. She is Black Lightning's daughter, older one, the stickler one.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I gave this a lot of thought. I cast everybody. Well, first of all, if we were to get, I would love a sequel TV show that follows the aftermath, not aftermath, but the aftermath of the novel that's like a setup into Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron. But
Cool.
I did cast everybody for like a long form TV show the crux of the show would be after the novel, but we would have flashbacks. Right. So if you are watching the stream at all, we'll look at this cast. And while you're joining the stream, we have people who have followed you. Harith has followed you. Brooke has followed you. The SK Base has followed you. Ace Bronx has followed. Harith still.
Wow. That's so very nice of everybody. I'll try to get some more content out. I got a little discouraged with that community violation after putting all that work into it. I was like, I'm doing it right now. So,
yeah. Which is odd because I got a community guidelines like flag for showing Ghost in the Shell, which is like an android body that is like skin toned, but not necessarily.
My costume is kind of skin tone, like not my skin tone, but it would be a light
Well, that
skin
doesn't
tone.
count.
No, it doesn't
It's
count.
not my
Like,
skin tone. It's a skin tone.
I think-
if I wore tan shorts and they're like, nope, take it down. He's naked. I'd be like, what?
yeah, they
Even it's weird. I don't understand. I see like a lot of half naked sexualized content, and I'm like, mine was so vanilla. What's going on?
absolutely no. Like someone probably reported it as naked, and then I appealed it, and I said that's an android body. They're not actually naked, and then they put it back up. So for some reason, to not put yours back up is extremely weird.
I'll just do it. Make it again.
Xcore Gamer still says, I need to read Lost Stars, reading Ahsoka now. Finish
That's a
Ahsoka,
good book too. Mhm.
finish Lost Stars. Let's see here. Julie Christine followed Gray.
They're so sweet.
This community is very, very supportive. We all got each other's back. Speaking of which, our weekly shout out to the Far, Far Away Factory on Etsy by Brooke. Does amazing earrings, amazing jacket paintings, and now, recently, at least for me, I've seen her doing shoe art. So if
Oh man, the last shoe art that we saw from her was crazy.
That's cool.
yeah, so if you guys want some Star Wars earrings or jackets or shoes or just like stickers or something, Far, Far Away Factory on Etsy.
Far Away Factory.
Yes.
Okay, so I just sent two images in the chat to you because I have my own fan casting. Of course, what I want is basically a long form retelling of kind of Lost Stars, because I think that one thing we have not had is an actual on-screen like coming of age, like being able to spend time with these people inside of the Imperial Academy and all that stuff and kind of, grow with them. I think that could be really interesting. So for my Sienna, I put, of course, this is them at the young age. I'm going with Ty Sheridan and Samantha Logan.
And this is who I have right now? The one that you sent?
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, she's perfect.
Yeah, so she's in 13 Reasons Why. But I think she would make an excellent say. And plus, I mean, the actress is like 26, so she could play her throughout whatever age is needed.
She has the cute face that Sienna has.
Yeah.
She does. I'm liking that.
Mm.
And then I think Ty Sheridan, we've kind of seen him grow up on screen. He does have kind of like I mean, he's not quite as big as what I would imagine Thane to be, but he did broaden out as he got older, and he kind of has kind of like the goofy, awkward energy that I still expect, while still being, able to be rugged and stuff like
Well,
that.
he's a good choice. He's a great choice. Put a little bit of muscle on him, his jaw would square up, and he would.
A little bit of muscle. He needs the kitchen sink.
Oh yeah, but I've seen actors like Christian Bale put on the kitchen.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's more.
Chris Hemsworth was not a big guy in his Australian soap operas.
He was not. Everything you watch him, he's just like a thin guy.
Well, I gave this a lot of thought. I casted young and old versions of everybody.
Think of young and old.
So let's take a look. If you're not following the stream, I'll share this on the chat on Discord. Here we go. We have Gage Monroe for young Thane. And he's just got that look where he's like super arrogant and super confident, but also I'm casting for like evolutions here, because the older Thane, Dacker Montgomery from Stranger Things, looks like him as an older person. What do you guys think of that pick?
Do you have the height? Thane is, even Chris Hemsworth doesn't have the height of Thane.
No, if you
low camera angles. I'm standing in Apple box.
Apple boxes, Apple crates like Tom Cruise.
That's true. You're right.
I don't know. He just has that look too.
That young Nash is a great cast. Seriously.
Yeah.
And doesn't he look like?
And how they look like Pokemon evolutions of each other. I approve.
That's what I was going for. And then we have our Sienna. I don't know how I found these two, but they look like young and old versions of one person. But there it is. Kiersey's
casting.
Yeah, Kiersey Clemens, of course, from Justice League, Iris West. But you only saw her in the Snyder cut. Liam Neeson could play Thane. He's like 6'5". Brooke. Liam Neeson's gonna be Lux, Qui-Gon, and Thane. They have the de-aging for that.
Ben Affleck had the size if he was lighter haired.
I can see that too. Yeah. And then
basically the coloring is just a little different, but I think he might.
There's my Jude. Still, Pokemon evolutions.
Yeah. Man, I loved Jude. Jude's just such a cool character.
It was just...
He's one of my favorite characters in the book.
Yeah. She was it's been a while since I read it. She was the one on the Death Star, right?
Yeah, she died on.
She was a smart friend. Yeah, the smart friend.
And then of course the last two, they were kind of like ancillary characters, but I had to find Barris and Kendi. Wait.
Perfect.
Julia says, "Am I crazy, or does young Jude look older than old Jude?" I don't think so. I just think it's lighting. Stop laughing.
Stop laughing at me.
They look the same age to me, Dob says. I mean, some people don't age. Some people age gracefully. I still look like I could show you. I'm not going to show you guys, but I could show you my, high school picture. And the only thing that would have changed is I have facial hair.
I was
But
hideous in high school.
I don't believe that. Not for 1 minute.
Oh, I got beat up. I had horrible nicknames. I got picked on by the kids with pocket protectors. I mean, I was on the bottom tier.
Do you guys have any other casts? Any thoughts for like a Nash Windrider, maybe?
I didn't go that far. I just went into Thane and Sienna.
Yeah.
I only did Thane and Sienna because I mean, I feel like your cast for Nash is too well done. So like it's like why bother? Actually, you know what? Lucas Hedges.
Lucas
I
Hedges.
did have a thought for Lucas Hedges.
Lucas Hedges.
But it's kind of going in a different direction, and that would be.
Are you talking about this guy?
Yeah, he's kind of has this kind of like Weasley quality to me that I could see working on a Nash.
Yes.
But a little bit of a different direction, but yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He
Still not
has
as
that.
good.
He has that like lowbrow kind of high eyeshadow that is that kind of makes you think like a sickly, like almost not sickly, but an unhealthy amount of like exertion. And I hate to say people look sickly. It's just this picture just lends to it.
I'm staying out of it.
Just has a naturally furrowed brow.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
You can see him perpetrating that whole scene on the Death Star of like, when he's like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to be alone, do you?" Like, because I can come back, to your bunk or whatever, and she's like, "What? Are you kidding?"
Julia Christine says, I feel like 90% of my Star Wars fan casts are just actors from Game of Thrones. I mean,
there's so many actors in Game of Thrones, you can't help it.
Yeah.
Those are great actors.
I mean, if you really, really think about it, anybody who is on a TV show has been on another TV show. So it's not that far-fetched.
And considering the size of the cast and the rate they were like murdered and like put through this churn machine, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The actor that played Joffrey quit acting. He said it was corrosive to his soul.
You know what? I don't doubt it. I mean, it can be that.
Especially who he played and the fans' reaction to him. Because he was still treated poorly by people.
I actually don't like that because I feel that if you play a bad guy that you just despise, like you're like, dude, if I even see the actor, I'm going to despise it. You did such an amazing job. You should get credit for it. But in turn, they don't. People don't get credit for being just the most horrific bad guy a lot of the times.
That's true.
Yeah. I absolutely, especially young people. I will say though, I mean, I still like. I made a TikTok asking like what actors were such convincing villains that you have trouble seeing them in any other way. People brought up Joffrey a lot, but for me, the very first movie I saw Vince Vaughn in was Domestic Disturbance. And I don't know, he just made me so uncomfortable that even in his comedic roles, I'm like, I don't trust this dude.
I can't watch like scary movies. I'm a pansy. Like so bad.
Julia Christine says Charles Dance just screams Imperial officer. Listen, I'm 100 with you there. I think what was this? Tywin Lannister can be a Grand Moff or a Grand Admiral in the Empire any day. I think he would kill it.
Yeah, I agree. I think they choose so well to who's been playing the Imperial actors in all the new Star Wars. The ones on Gideon's ship, they were all great. The ones on the one that took over the ship on the last Skywalker. At the very end,
General Pride.
Yeah.
General. Oh, that was an amazing cast.
Yeah.
Like that guy just like had an aura of Empire.
And my personal favorite, also from The Mandalorian, is the second to last episode of season 2. The officer who was talking to Bill Burr. Why can't I think of his name? But yeah, that guy was such a great actor and like perfect performance, and I would have killed him as well.
Was he the one that Din had to take off his helmet for?
Yeah, the one that
he was a superior that led Operation Cinder.
That guy did amazing.
But as we kind of move towards the time to have the quiz, we got to also jump into the Bad Batch. We want to make sure we don't.
That's true.
Don't leave out episode 7.
I mean, Lost Stars.
I know this is a great topic. We can say. But
I mean, I love the Bad Batch. It is like Clone Wars again, so it's fast becoming one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
How about this episode? I mean,
this episode is one of my favorites.
We had our own horror scene in this one because Wrecker was terrifying.
To see Wrecker be so utterly terrifying was actually hard to watch. Yeah. There was no like, oh, he looks like that fun guy he went from, when his eye opened and dilated, it was just like Anakin's when Ahsoka cut his helmet on the Malachor arc, and he was like, then you will die. And his eye did that. And that's what they did with Wrecker. And I just was like, oh my gosh. And then he rivaled any bad guy in Star Wars. That was such a wonderful performance.
Yeah.
I love how they offset that moment because like in the beginning of the episode they had this like after mission tradition with Omega. It was just them two, right? With the Mantell
bites.
Yeah, and like in the beginning of the episode they were just showing his playful side with Omega and just being, not this rambunctious like meathead, but just like a big kid at heart, And
he's only 10.
Yeah.
He's like 10 years old. So they're all super young. So when they're like, oh, he acts like a kid, it's so childish. I don't like it's like, dude, he's 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then that turn.
Tom Hanks vibes. It's like Tom Hanks and Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that turn that you mentioned it was just crazy when it was just juxtaposed to that kid nature, because then like Order 66 turned him into like a 40-year-old disgruntled employee, and he was just against the world.
So he took all of them down, including Rex.
Yeah,
all of them. Just like they were nothing. He just grabbed them by their faces and just threw them and knocked them out. I mean,
if we hadn't,
the thing that kind of struck me though is Omega's finger on the trigger, and we saw it pulling back ever so slightly. Which, when we saw her earlier, like faced with some crazy looking monster that eats electricity, she just put the gun down. Like it wasn't a concern, but this, she was getting close to making that tough decision. So I believe that she has that in her. She has the warrior spirit in her.
Oh, I think she's going to be one of the strongest way later. I think she's going to be one of the biggest, strongest Star Wars characters. And I think she's going to bounce through every show, maybe not every single one, but I think she's going to be built up and the Star Wars into a great thing. I'm not sure, but.
No.
I do have to address the elephant in the room, Brooke. The elephant in the room. It was Rex, not Bail.
I had bad guesses. I didn't guess those.
My
I think it
initial
was Rex.
Yeah, my initial guess was Quinlan Voss, but that was like I always start with the reach and then I come back around and being like, okay, what's the most obvious answer? And so after I looked at like the dialogues, like we found some rogue clones, thought you should know. It's like maybe Rex is the most obvious answer to who could be. He could be looking for others that didn't follow the order.
I love the Martez system. I absolutely love them. I loved their arc. I had no issues. I thought they're a great part of Star Wars. I think they add a lot.
I do too. And I'm one of the few. I think Choco is not part of this crowd, but I'm one of the few that is perfectly okay with their arc.
Well, I am too.
Yeah.
When he says, I'm happy with the arc. I do feel like it could have been trimmed. It could have been one less episode and still had the same impact. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And the only reason I kind of like it first, it was just because I realized that I was waiting for the Ahsoka arc, and everything came that I was just waiting for the Ahsoka arc. So I didn't get into. And then once I watched that, and I went back and rewatched the whole series, I was like, oh, why was I just waiting for this? The whole thing's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like the dichotomy between me and Choco on that point is that I'm okay with how it was played out, that arc. I think we needed time and some build up. And I realize when people say I'm not going to throw Choco under the bus here, but sometimes when people do want an arc to be shorter, they just want to get to the meat and potatoes quicker. And my argument
That was me.
My argument against that is that you just kind of need to simmer a little bit, and you got to build up to that climax. And this has been a slow burn. We're at episode 7,
The slow burn of the Bad Batch, though, I must because I keep seeing people say, oh, it's not going fast enough. No.
I haven't felt that at all or heard it. I haven't even it hasn't even been a thought of mine.
Yeah, I hear it a lot, but when I think about the emotions that hit me watching Wrecker's turn, it wouldn't have happened like this if I hadn't seen Crosshair's turn long ago, and then watched as Wrecker's relationship with Omega built up, and he makes it this room. We get to see him in his dad's sun hat and all and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then watching his turn happen slowly and having that anticipation. It wouldn't have hit hard if this was
Agreed.
episode 3. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have cared.
For sure.
We now care about each and every member of the Bad Batch, except for Tech. He hasn't been given a whole lot just yet, but
the reason I think that Omega is going to be so big is because when they introduced Ahsoka, she was 14 and quite annoying. Actually, wasn't the greatest of characters at first, and people didn't really bond with her. But I feel with Omega, she's not annoying. Nothing about her's been annoying, and she has such a strong start, just like Ahsoka, and Ahsoka has become just top-notch Star Wars. So.
Yeah.
That's why I feel Omega is going to do so well.
Yeah, I have high hopes for the direction of the Bad Batch so far. I mean, I'm still holding out for a Quinlan Voss to show up, primarily because I think they could really use his psychometry, and they're playing up the angle of fighting the Empire, but not in an organized kind of rebel way, and that's why I kind of moved away from Bale at that point, because it's like the cells or his efforts at this point would not be so organized. They'd still be on the in the infancy stages of setting things up around the galaxy.
They're not even. I mean, Bale hasn't even started the rebellion yet.
Yeah.
I think it's just closet talk at this point.
Yeah, and so we would have rabble rousers like Saw Gerrera and those people just kind of around the outskirts of politics, just kind of trying to build up some kind of resistance, not in the sequel sense, but like some kind of like rebel foundation of people just accepting that the Empire is a bad thing. So like Quinlan Vos could be part of that movement, but I realize that's a huge stretch.
I love Quinlan Vos. If you could throw him anywhere, it'd make me happy.
Exactly.
I saw the poncho
Exactly.
and I thought that was Quinlan's poncho, and I was like, wait. And then the armor on the arm, I was like, that's got to be Rex.
I didn't notice the armor. Didn't show the armor when it was with the Martez sisters. That was when he was in the bar, right? Yeah, that's when I realized it was Rex too, and I was like, oh, I was so wrong. You guys think you'll see Ahsoka later, since we saw Rex and the droid? Do you think she'll have a place in the show at all?
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen because like she's like doing some, she's off doing something. She's like in hiding herself.
Yeah.
And you know, in the Ahsoka book, we realize it starts a year after Order 66, but we're not going to assume that like she was out and about doing things and fighting the Empire, and then a year hit and she's like, I'm going to Thebesca. No, I think she's been doing that stuff, and then we just join her a year in. So, and then they say that her and Rex decided to separate, so I think they're keeping radio silence, and I think they're especially because she's a Jedi.
Not only that, but I love Ahsoka. I don't necessarily need to see her in everything.
Yeah. She has her own show.
You know what I mean? And I want
He said it was going to be a limited series, so it's not going to continue. She gets a show, but it's just going to be like a little mini series, and that's it. That's what I heard.
I'm not sure if that was confirmed or announced.
Oh.
But if it is, it'll still be more live action Ahsoka that we previously had. You know, just like the Kenobi show. That's the only
reason I was thinking she could be in more stuff. Like, she's not going to swap, just be in everything. But if she has just a limited series, but throwing her in some other peppered isn't as big of a deal as if she has just a ongoing show. That's all I was getting at with that.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for the sub. Welcome to Squadron 7. Let's touch base with the chat really quickly. Let's see here. Harith says, Filoni broke my heart again. X-Core Gamer says, Wrecker. I'm so glad he survived Wrecker as a kid. Christopher Boykin says, it's as crazy to see Wrecker's true power. I have a newfound respect for anyone foolish enough to get in his path. He could have like squad wiped them completely.
PK, man, total party kill.
And if you think about the squad, like if I were to think about who could actually wipe the squad, I only think of two people, Crosshair and Hunter.
You think Crosshair could?
I think Crosshair could, yeah.
Only if he's like back and sharpshooting at him.
I think if he's not like pursuing them and he had a chance to set up his, set up like an ambush point, you could definitely take them. Hunter as well, because he's just has this awareness about him and that like tactical awareness that gives him the edge in terms of like any kind of conflict. But Wrecker, man, he just like he hulked through the squad. It doesn't matter what their what their tactical.
When he's looking through the little hole in the door, like I was like,
that was terrifying. His eyes look scary.
Dob says Omega actually did try shoot him. You can see her try to pull the trigger just before he grabs the gun. I don't know if she would have though. I think we like just like any other movie or TV show is just kind of like that, because there is resistance if you've never squeezed the trigger before. Like your finger can go back, but it takes a lot more pressure to squeeze the trigger.
Sometimes triggers are so heavy that's their safety. You have to like take seriously.
Yeah, you have to be committed 100%.
Much like a High Republic Jedi trying to fire from your ship. You know, you have to take your lightsaber out of your holster and
Right.
then put it in
Yeah.
to show that it's deliberate intent. You can't just squeeze off a shot.
Brooke says, I'm okay with being wrong if it means I get Rex back. I cried real tears. I almost did. Was anybody else?
Cry real tears all the time on Star Wars, like all the time. If it's something like really happy, like a strong female character doing stuff, I cry. If it's something, I cry. If it's a character, I cry. I just cry all the time. Anakin makes me cry all the time. I never not cry.
Shout out to
Good
Fern in
job,
the
yeah.
chat. ASAT Astra's with us. Welcome to the stream. We are slowly approaching our High Republic qualifying quiz. And I don't think Fern is qualified. I don't think so. Gray, you're welcome to participate as well.
I only got like 20. I was like number 26 out of 30. I was like, oh wow, some Star Wars you know nothing about. I mean, not other than just the generalized stuff. You know, I don't know all that. I could do good at other quizzes, but I would love to participate.
I mean, with this, you know, it'll be interesting because these are only the phase 1 books. I know you've read all 3 of them, and so
the comic too.
And that means you're going to be ahead of quite a few people. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think you'll do great.
Yeah, and then the final quiz, of course, that's going to be like a lore master quiz. And that's not to say that Choco and I would do well on this quiz. We're trying to equalize the difficulty so that like everyone's guessing. Like this isn't like who shot first type stuff. This is like stuff you have to really pay attention to. There will be a lot of stuff in the movies that like, you know, some random Quarren in the back said, and it's not something you're paying attention to. But you know, it's a great equalizer. Like for esoteric knowledge, that we're trying to have everyone being on the same playing field in terms of like the final quiz where they're just, I'd say 80-90% of the time they have to guess each answer instead of like, you know, depend on their base knowledge. And just to make sure that everybody is coming from the same starting point. Wrecker is going to kill Omega set to Anakin's dark deeds. No.
Ooh, no. No.
Okay.
Can't handle stuff like that.
It's only funny when we're joking about Anakin doing it.
Do we have any final thoughts on the Bad Batch before we move on to the quiz?
Got to see the Iblis Maw.
I thought
I thought it was a Dianoga.
Question about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon learning how to be a Force ghost.
Yes. Those notes are more or less just kind of like a rough framework. If you had thoughts on that, you can definitely share them.
I just had a small thought. Is just I wanted in the show. I would have liked like a sequence scene from start to finish, set up. You know, like shots of his training. That was all. I would like to see.
Oh yeah. I think that should be an arc in the show. Like, too bad it's such a short show.
That would be great. I just didn't think. I figured if Qui-Gon really didn't do it, they could do a like Force Ghost scene, kind of like they make stuttering. Sorry, Luke Skywalker in the Mandalorian. You know, if they could do something like that.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking if it was a sped up. As if he wasn't going to be in it, but if he is going to be in it and they could do an arc, that would be amazing. I figured Obi-Wan would just have like 6 or 8 episodes, like, you know, something like that.
It's too bad it is such a short series because I would have loved it an arc where it's not like like Qui-Gon shows up and then he learns Force Ghost. I would have loved to see him like struggle with it, but at the same time try to maintain his daily life. So like the first episode, like he shows up to Obi-Wan and then he tells him all of this new knowledge that he has to absorb and understand and comprehend. And then, like, at the end of the episode, he's like in the middle of trying to do this one task, but he can't, like, because, like, Luke got in trouble or something, so he has to go off and interrupt himself. And it happens over like the next week or so, and he's just like having to deal with that daily life while also answering Qui-Gon's calls at night.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. That's what I see, but they don't have... I mean, if each episode is an hour, maybe they could just do that over the hour and say...
I just assumed that it was going to be an hour. I just figured it would be an hour.
Yeah.
I think it would be weird if it wasn't.
With Obi-Wan, because I know that I have seen complaints with the length of the show, but you have to remember when Solo was coming out, they were in the talks of making 2 more movies, a Mandalorian movie and an Obi-Wan movie. Those were retooled into the Mandalorian, the show that we've gotten 2 seasons, we're getting another one, and 6 episodes of Obi-Wan, which is still a hell of a lot more than a movie. So I'm okay with it, because this is
I like the shows more as well.
Yeah, that's like a 6-hour extended cut, almost.
I'm actually way more into shows than movies. They're enjoyable, but I like more in-depth to characters than what movies can usually offer.
Yeah,
it's more than even Zack Snyder could stretch out.
Oh man. Okay, so let's start to close out the show. We're going to move into our High Republic quiz. And just and I've been getting some feedback as of late over the past couple of weeks as to how the quiz is proctored and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and reduce as much as possible, reduce the commentary, reduce the amount of talk around each question, so I can just move to the next question, because a lot of times I'm like making some comments and then I hit next question, and people aren't expecting the next question to come up because there's a delay in the stream. So I will, I'll reduce the chatter as much as possible. I'll let Choco proctor, and then we'll look at the leaderboard for 5 seconds, and then I will get to the next question. Okay, so you guys have 5 seconds in between each question. So when you answer the question, the correct answer has been revealed. We move on to the leaderboard. In 5 seconds, I will move on to the next question. Okay, so without further ado, here is the pin for the Kahoot. It is 333-8049. I'm vibing with this music. Arya cosplay, Kivu Karen, Russian man, the Baron Administrator, Fern, Hustle Mando, Karelia Coffee Works. Shout out to Haley from Karelia Coffee Works. B Dazzler, Log Branch, This Justin.
Hey, shout out to This Justin.
Can you give me the game pin again, please?
It is 333-8049. Oh, is it wrong in the chat? Okay. Thank you, X-Core. You don't gotta yell at me, X-Core. I saw your message. If you can count on anything in the Dyad and the Force is where we're reading the chat. This is a very chat-heavy show. Ricky
Not reading the chat. I have Kahoot on.
I'm just laughing at the name
No
and the
worries.
Kahoot. Who is this
Yes,
Rick-a-tan?
that is me. That is me.
Yeah, I figured.
We watched Rush Hour 2 last night, so I picked a character's name from it. Who in here knows Rick-a-tan?
Yeah. Hey, that's Rick-a-tan. That guy's 4 feet tall.
Chris, thank you.
Also, Grace, since you've joined the server, you all guests of Dyad in the Forest, of course, have joined the book club server. You are in the server now. You're welcome to join us every night. We are in the voice chat. We're just chilling, having a good time, talking Star Wars, or just doing
I would love that.
Rush Hour 2 quotes.
Never saw Rush Hour.
Really?
No, I really just watch a lot of nerdy stuff. As far as like action, adventure stuff, I don't really watch.
That's fine. That's fine.
Nothing wrong with that. That's usually my life.
I really just watch just nerd stuff. Every now and then my husband's like, hey, can we watch something else?
What nerdy thing are you on now?
I'm listening to Bloodline, and I just started I'm watching Clone Wars, and I kind of and Bad Batch, but I just started a rewatch of the sequel series.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
Very nice.
Movies, I guess it would be.
Yeah.
Who did we just lose? We lost one player.
That was because I did so bad on the quiz.
Yeah.
So I want to watch it.
We'll give you guys about 2 or 3 more minutes to join back in. And then after that, another minute to, okay. Looks like, okay. Nope, we got 2 more. We'll keep the timer going. I need a good topic for Conspiracy Cantina so you can join us. Oh, that is X-Core Gamer Skills talking to Fern. Never mind. I shall excuse myself from that conversation.
I got excited. I was like, oh, I'm being invited to... No. Okay. Sorry.
We'll give
But
this...
you're right. You do need a topic worthy of Fern because it's hard to contain that much brain in a podcast. You have to pick accordingly.
Yeah, man. It's going to go from Conspiracy Cantina to Conspiracy Planet. Galaxy brains here, right? All galaxy brains.
Actually, both Fern and X-Core Gamer Skills, I had you both on to talk about the Jedi and their responsibility in Anakin's turn.
It's a great episode.
That was a great conversation.
I mean, as Fern says, I can talk about the Jedi all day. Why don't you just make the topic the Jedi? Just leave it at that. Okay.
Hey, we got Levi Bond in the chat.
We're gonna start this quiz in 60 seconds, no matter what. So your final timer is up. In 55 to 50 seconds, we will start this quiz. Choco will take over and proctor, and you will have 5 seconds in between each question.
And then I know we already joked about this, but I do have to let Levi know that we were talking about Ray Sloan earlier and wanting to see more from her.
We
I
also
just have to give you that.
We also talked about how we didn't read Lovers of Power yet.
Will.
All right, folks, we have 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. True or false? The High Republic was made to replace the Old Republic.
I like this start. How many players do we have? We have 17 answers. Did someone join at the last minute? It was false.
Who knows? I did put it in the public server, so yeah.
Yeah, that was worth no points.
It was a practice. Test of courage. What is the destination of the Steady Wing before it was sabotaged? Where were they going? Coruscant, the Republic Fair, Starlight Beacon, or a Maxine Station?
Brad Marcon in the chat says Brad Marcon is sexy. And don't you know it?
I'm gonna have to take your word on it. 17 people, 19th place. Light of the Jedi. What species is Loden Greatstorm?
Yeah, I don't think we have too many story spoilers, X-Core, if you still need to read a Test of Courage. It's just all kind of factual tidbits, factoids. The answer was Twi'lek. Ooh, look at that leaderboard shift.
All right. High Republic comic. Who was Keeve Trennis coordinating with on the Starlight Beacon? Was it Yoda? Was it Veter? Estella Maru? Or Avar Chris?
Thank you, Brad Marcon, for that like. Always appreciate the likes.
Absolutely.
The answer, of course, was Estella Maru. And only 2 people got it. Interesting. Arya got it, for sure.
Levi.
Into the Dark. What was beneath the Jedi Temple on Coruscant? Was it Mandalorian ruins, a Sith shrine, the Star Forge, or the Luneti Forest?
As I say in all of our quizzes, don't overthink it. The answer was Sith Shrine.
Which isn't anything new, it is just confirmed now. This is a concept from Legends. Light of the Jedi. Which Jedi carries a yellow lightsaber? Is it Tarek? Is it Skier? Loden Greatstorm? Or Ty Yorick? Did I pronounce Skier properly?
Skier.
Yeah.
I love Skier. I love Transdoshans, like Sid on the new Bad Batch.
Can we talk about
That voice acting's perfect for her.
Can we talk about the serendipity of that answer
Yeah.
color? Because it's shuffled, so we don't know if it's going to land on that. But that's fair play. Good, fair play.
All right, we got a double pointer. High Republic. What were the names of Lena So's Targan companions? Matari and Voru, Tag and Bink, Ki and Matumbo, Blizz and Mako.
X-Core, do you think we will get the Star Forge in canon? I don't think so. No. Don't think it's going to happen. The answer was Matari and Voru.
I could see them taking some of the technology for light speed travel, like from where the Amaxines found it, from the Rakata. Another double pointer. Into the Dark. What species is Geode? Is Geode an Ibtis Ma, Leventian, a Dewback, or Rock? He's not a boulder. It's a rock.
The answer
Love Geode.
was Vincian. Ooh, look at that leaderboard shift. Fern's placing. So is AJ.
Test of Courage. Who was Vernestra Rowe's former master? Was she under Stellan Gios, Jorah Mali, Douglas Sunvale, or Skier? I just love having a Jedi named Douglas, you know?
Just call him Doug.
I didn't even contemplate that. That's awesome.
The answer was Stellan Gios, although she's not under him for very long when we meet her.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, even though Kieran is already qualified.
Double pointer. Into the Dark. From the events of the book, how long ago was it when Orla and Comac rescued Queen Thadenka?
Thandeka.
Was that 45 years ago, 55 years ago, 25 years ago, or 30 years?
It was 25 years. And if Hannah's in the chat, of course, it was 25 years.
It was 25 years and it says incorrect.
Hmm?
I clicked on 25 years. It says incorrect.
Oh, it does have it correctly highlighted over here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. But,
Yeah, I hit the wrong one on accident.
All good.
Oh,
It's all
Fern
gravy.
and Brooke. Uh-oh.
Light of the Jedi. Where did Skier lose his arm? Was it the Battle of Hetzel, the Battle of Elfrona, Battle of Starlight, or the Battle of Kerr? Genius Machine?
The answer, of course, was Battle of Kerr. Oh, no change at all. These are our top High Republic players.
Okay, let's go. Another double pointer. Test of Courage. When justifying the use of the light whip, what is the historical record Vernestra refers to? The Guardians of Javan, Serval the Uncanny, Record of Lokath, or Legends of Bardata?
That is Iokath, by the way.
Iokath. My bad.
Wow. The answer, of course, was Serval the Uncanny. Choco's camera is glitching out. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, that is strange. It's working here in Discord.
It's not working in Discord for you, bud. Do you
Okay,
see
then.
the same thing I see, Gray?
Oh, I see it working correctly, but when I glance down at my phone, it's gidgety.
Yeah.
On Discord, it is
Interesting.
clear.
Can you turn off your camera real quick and turn it back on, Choco?
Yes, that arranged can be.
Sorry for the delay, folks. Just trying to fix this so you don't have this
Me
glitch.
tweaking out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you do it already? Oh, there he is. Is it coming back? There you go. All right, you're all good to go. All right. I'm going to type it in chat so you don't have to wait for the delay.
Okay. I didn't see the question. Sorry. Into the Dark. What was Leox Jossi smuggling aboard their ship? Was it slaves? Was it illegal tech? Was it spice? Or was it weapons?
Vessel.
Ariel lost her streak.
Did she? The answer was spice. Ooh, look at this Justin taking the 5th spot.
Light of the Jedi. Which Jedi views the Force as an ocean? Was that Elzar Mann? Was it Estella Maru? Was it Jorah Malley? Or was it Vader?
Like Derek Jeter?
Victor?
I don't know. I like to call him Vetter, like Eddie Vedder.
Well, now I'm never going to be able to hear him speak normally in my head again.
The answer was Elzar Men.
Yes. It's a vast
Woo!
ocean with
That
unfathomable depths.
was a huge shift.
Double points. High Republic Adventures. Zine Morala is a Mickean. Who else on this list shares that species? Is it Kiev? Is it Lula? Is it Tiplar? Or is it Ram?
Shout out to
Ram
Arya.
Jamaram.
Shout out to Arya's Ram Jomaram cosplay, not Jamaram, as she says in real life.
Ram.
Ram Jam.
I'm a jammer.
It was Tiplar, of course. You see Tiplar in Clone Wars. I believe she is the one that Tup kills. You can distinguish
Twin sister,
Mickeans.
right?
Yes.
He's a bad Jamalema.
Ooh, the top 5 shifts again.
Back in the game. Woo. Into the Dark. Whose lightsaber was white? Was it Comac Vetus, Orla Jareni, Reith Silas, or Des Raiden?
Whose lightsaber was white?
I like hitting the H's, all right?
The answer was Orla Jareni.
Yes.
Justin's back in the 5.
Light of the Jedi. How does Avar Kriss view the Force? As a river, a song, a nighttime city, or an ocean?
If you answered the other one correctly. It was a song. And I imagine Ricky Tan was one of those incorrect ones.
Yes, Ricky Tan's always
Isn't
incorrect.
she the Jedi that actually had like a music album?
No, I mean it's referred to that one did.
That wasn't her.
But it
Oh,
wasn't her.
okay.
We're never told who it was.
Oh, okay.
Look at the serendipity of this question. A blue song. Never mind, I thought it was an ocean. I thought it was... I mixed up the words.
Light of the Jedi. What planet/moon was ground zero for the Great Disaster? Was it Hosnian Prime, Alfrona, Valo, or Hetzel Prime?
Yeah, there's not many clues in this question.
Chris says the Force is Jazz. Confirmed. Jazz doesn't exist in Star Wars. It goes by a different name.
Yes, the answer was Hetzel Prime.
Double pointer. High Republic comic. Who did the Drengir battle and who was subsequently sealed by? So, who battled and sealed the Drengir? A Maxine's, the Sith, the Grisk, or the Chiss?
Nice. Ooh, that issue of High Republic. Technically, but it was confirmed. Justin, it was confirmed in the comic. Like, I think the only thing they said was Crimson Blades, but in the comic they said the Sith. So,
Yes. And showed Sith. Double pointer. Test of courage. Who did the clouds that attack Vernestra and Imri serve? Did they serve Panada, Lorna D, Marchion Ro, or Cassiv?
you will always fall into my plans, Cassiv. My traps. They served Lorna D.
I think Cassiv, Mark Thompson's voice for Cassiv is one of my favorite voices ever.
Yes.
I love it.
And that was a stellar stylistic choice. Like
Yeah.
he sounds like a sickly John Malkovich almost.
Oh, yeah, it's it.
Double pointer. We've been doing a lot of them. Light of the Jedi. What dish was Porter Engle most famous for at the Elfrona outpost? Was it Bardotten French toast? Was it Nerf Wellington? Was it 9-egg stew? Or was it Joppa stew?
It was a 9-egg stew. And interesting there's a lot of answers for Joppa stew. That was from A Test of Courage, not Porter Engle, but it was mentioned in there. All them eggs, absolutely. Nerf Wellington. That was Choco.
I like Nerf Wellington. That's great.
Gordon Ramsay loves Nerf Wellington. Light of the Jedi. Which Padawan was apprentice to Master Nib Assek? Was it Buryaga Agabury? Was it Emery Canteros? Was it Mikkel Sutmani? Or was it Zaviel Tep?
I also like having a lot of double pointers anyway, just to kind of flip the script on the leaderboard. A lot of chances to, shift. The answer was Buryaga Agaburi.
There's a lot of names there that I realize I've never said out loud. Like,
Oh my.
Said Buryaga, but not his last name.
Exactly. Yes. Buryaga Yagabury. Buryaga Yagabury. High Republic Adventures. What is the name of the Jedi healer known as Buckets of Blood? Was it Porter Engle? Was it Skier? Was it Torben Buck? Or was it Teami? Star Wars lore has never had French toast. That makes me uncomfortable.
Is his visit gonna be authentic ramen and French toast? We could take him to like Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle.
Ew. You should actually.
Authentic.
The answer was Torben Buck.
Buckets of Blood.
Arya retakes her top spot, but Fern not that far behind.
Double pointer. Into the Dark. Who gives the grand speech at the end on Starlight Beacon? Was it Queen Thadanka, Queen Dima, Chancellor Lina So, or Queen Yovette?
Whenever you read it, Queen Thadenka, I'm pretty sure you've got Badonkadonk on your brain.
I was gonna say Badonkadonk.
No, I'm having so much trouble with the name because I'm only thinking of Rex's species and like Tachanka and like that's all I hear in my head, and I'm having such yeah.
Thandeka was of course the queen that yeah, we've had that question before. The queen that Orla and Comac saved. Queen Dima was the opposite queen on Aram's side. And Yovit, well...
True or false? Into the Dark. Orla Durini possessed Jedi robes that seemingly remained pristine.
This was true. Very true. Leaderboard stayed the same. I think our top 5 is all new names.
Into the Dark. Who was Affie Hollow's adoptive mother? Was it Kestrel Dive? Was it Scover Bine? Was it Chansey Yarrow? Or was it Nito Jana?
The answer was Scover Bine of the Bine Guild. This is a whole new top 5.
A whole new Light of the Jedi. What is the source of Marchion Ro's paths? Is it an old woman? Is it Purgle migration routes? Is it the Eye? Or is it his father?
The answer is an old woman named Mari Santeca.
Yes.
Plan.
We need a double pointer to shift this.
Into the dark. Why can't you cross the Kyber Arch alone? Is it because the Force is your ally? Is it because the buddy system is required? Is it forbidden? Or it was built by the Fallen?
The answer was it was built by the Fallen. So when your master tells you you can never cross it alone, it's because all of the Kyber crystals that comprise of the arch were built by your fallen comrades, and so they're always with you.
Justin, I suppose I projected that answer. Question 29. Light of the Jedi. What is the name of Bel's Charhound? Is it Kindle? Is it Ignatius? Is it Spark? Or is it Ember?
The answer, of course, was Ember.
Which is the first fire move that Charmander learns.
It's the last one.
Last. Double pointer. Light of the Jedi. Which system does Cassiv try to extort while falling into Marchion Ro's trap? Iridonia, Stujon, Eriadu, or Edu?
The answer was Eriadu, and if you've read Tarkin, you know why that is a bad idea.
Yeah, don't mess with Ariadians. Ariadians? Ariadonians.
Ariadans? Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Ariadunes? Oh!
Leave this one. We have 31 questions because of that opening question.
Oh, that is true. This is the last one.
Last question. Into the Dark. Which two Jedi shared the same master? Was it Keeve and Vernestra? Was it Reeth and Nan? Is it Vernestra and Reeth? Or is it Dez and Reeth?
The answer was Daz and Reeth. They were both under Jorah Malley, who, well, never mind, I'm not going to spoil it. All right.
And for Justin M., Tarkin is from Eriadu.
Aaron.exe says Diz nuts. I'm glad you got that on. Your claim to fame. Third place is Sleepy Savior, 24 out of 31. Fern in second place, 27 out of 31. Arya Cosplays, 28 out of 31. A true High Republic fan.
Man, you guys did well. Okay.
You guys did well, man. I mean, this is a fairly new era. And the retention is there for you guys. Let's see here. 41% correct. Difficult questions. Yeah. Not a lot of people got onto the Serval the Uncanny. Very interesting.
X4 says, I wonder where Tommy P is. He's waiting.
He is. He's waiting for the final quiz. I mean, he doesn't need to take these quizzes. So let's, as we watch this awesome cinematic again, congratulations to this Justin, AJ from the SK base, or Jedi Starkiller, Sleepy Savior, Fern, and Arya Cosplays for qualifying in this quiz. And now,
5 new people on top in qualifying. That's amazing. I love it.
Absolutely. And now we look forward to next week's quiz, which is our Potent Potables qualifier. This is all the side stuff. We've got Rogue One. We've got Solo. We have we have the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
What else do we have? Bad Batch? You want to include Bad Batch?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be fairly easy for anyone keeping up with it. We could do that.
Glad I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And we'll probably toss a couple of Resistance questions in there as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love that. But as it stands right now, I do believe next week our Potent Potables quiz will be the last qualifier, right?
That's correct.
Until we host the final quiz. Now, the final quiz won't be the week afterward. We'll give people some time to, brush up on their Star Wars, watch some movies and shows. And then we will announce it, give you guys another 2 weeks notice as to when the final quiz will be. And then you'll study. I will hope you'll study. Some interesting.
We'll definitely have Master Allen as our guest that week as well.
Absolutely, and some interesting pointers, interesting books for you guys to maybe reference if you guys haven't purchased it yet. It's the Star Wars book by Hidalgo, Horton, and Zare. You can also purchase absolutely everything you need to know. There will be some questions from there. And then, of course, all of the movies, all of the shows, and all of the, I can't really tell you to read all the books, but I'd say for sure focus on the ones that are the most popular, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
we can't give everything to you guys.
Yeah, it'll be we'll make it challenging but manageable.
Yes, always manageable. Let's close out the show. We got Aaron EXE, ASAT Astra, Aria L, Brooke, Hustle Mandalorian, Justin M, Log Branch, Sawyer Markham, Sleepy Savior. I was about to say Sleepy Sawyer, Sleepy Savior, the SK Base, X-Core Gamer Skills, Harith. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to everyone else who has tuned in. Star Wars Lawyer as well. Congratulations again to Justin, AJ, Sleepy Savior, Fern, and Arya for qualifying to this for this quiz or this tournament. Gray, do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with everyone?
I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much for having me on, you guys. I love this positive community, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for coming
Yes.
and joining us.
Anytime. I had a blast.
And of course, that means you're part of the family now, the Dyad family, and you are a series regular, as it were. And so at any point, we'll DM you and be like, "You want to come on this week?" And then you'll have to. It's mandatory. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd love to. I get to see people. I've been locked up for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Choco, any final words?
Just keep watching, keep Star Warsing, keep spreading the love, and don't mess with Wrecker.
Yeah. Indeed.
He's aptly named.
All right, guys, that is the end. On to the next one for Light and Life.
We are all the Republic.
And may the Force be with you.